So for this project, one thing that I right away looked into was historical seating. Seating means how the musicians are placed, where the first violins are in relation to the second violins, where the continuo is, and so on and so forth. And of course, there are lots of paintings, lots of diagrams, and things like that you can research. And the one that I took as a base, it's not at all a one-to-one copy, but the one that I took as a base was the one that Krantz offers in his flute book. And one thing that always struck me was that the concertmaster, let's say the leader, the Anford, or whatever it's called, would often be found in a different place than we normally associate leaders or concertmasters to be. And usually today the concertmaster is sort of stage center and slightly to the left, so in front of everybody. It wasn't always the case. I found out in historical seatings, often in the inside, closer to the continuo. So already there, that's one thing that was different. But also another thing that seems to, and the thing is that there is no one historical seating. That's something that I would definitely make clear from the start. But one thing that I did notice was that groups would often be arranged in rows. So you would have first violins, not first violin, sort of not in groups, but rather in rows. And for example, the second violins, the row of second violins would be behind the first ones, not next to. And the violas still behind that. And continuo groups tend to be rather tightly knit. Often you'll see that the cellist, the continuo playing cellist, will be reading directly off of the harpsichordist's music. So they were reading off of the one and same part because, in effect, they were the one and same instrument, so to speak. And the double basses, so the harpsichord player would be flanked, one side with violone, the other side with cello. Often that was the case. My findings were that it really worked well. It really, really worked well because I was right in front of Lucia, so in front of the principal string continuo player, let's say, and next to Siebe, the harpsichord player. So I was at much more in contact with the heart of the orchestra, the bass line, the heart of the orchestra, harmony. But then at the same time so just by turning a little bit this way, not only could the rest of the group see me, but also they could hear me as well. Because I would be, at least as far as the audience was concerned, behind everybody. So it was actually a really good experiment to do, and also to hear differently because you have the second violins right behind you, violas behind you. So it's a very layered way of hearing as well, also to see, I think. And so you really experience it in a different way. Food for thought. I think this is just one example of what we could do in the Bachvereniging, testing out all sorts of arrangements and going much further than that, because I think that's one thing a lot of musicians, period orchestras have not quite done yet, I find.